Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I'm starting another week of my Reading, Rambling, and Real Life series. And today is Monday, January the 19th, and I am just leaving work. I'm waiting for my car to warm up, my back windshield to clear because it's covered with ice. I might have to go out and scrape, but it is so cold. It is currently minus 11 degrees Celsius. I don't know, converting to that, 0 is 32, so bring it down, I don't know, maybe 5 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. I'll check the math and put it on the screen here. I don't remember offhand how to convert. It is so cold, and we are under a blizzard warning again. It is blowing snow right now. It is not really heavy snow, it's just the wind, so it's really blowing around, and I'm not looking forward to driving home, but I also don't want to stay at work. So I need to get home. Once I get home, I will update you on my reading. I am reading, I'll have a book, well, I can do it now. What am I talking about? So my physical read, which is on my Kindle, is Witness Protection by Robert Whitlow. I have an advanced reader copy of this through NetGalley. It releases at the beginning of April. I am really enjoying it and really invested in the characters, and I want to know what's going to happen. Is somebody setting the guy up, or is the guy really guilty? I don't know. Then I'm still making my way through A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. That's my audiobook. I'm about 48%, somewhere around there. I just really like these characters, and Allie's kind of being challenged a little bit on her thoughts, and I really like these guys, and I'm forcing myself not to pick it up and read it physically because I'm reading Witness Protection, because I could just stay with these characters. It is a reread for me, and I know, like, I enjoyed it last time. I gave it 5 stars, and it made me pick up book 2 and book 3 immediately. So I don't know what's gonna happen this time, but we'll see. I'm really liking it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get out and scrape the back windshield because it is not defrosting fast enough for me, and I would like to get home before the weather gets worse. Well, it is Tuesday after work, and I am waiting for supper to cook. I have a pot roast in the slow cooker, and I'm going to make some Yorkshire pudding to go with it, but I need to be closer to the done time before I put this in the oven. And I thought I would refill my coffee thing. It's a little empty. I was scraping the barrel this morning to make my coffee. And I have a Tim Hortons French vanilla that I'm gonna put in there. Not my favorite, but it works. It's all I have right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. For reading, I am making progress in Witness Protection. Just 2-word title. I'm at 44%, chapter 22, and I suspect something is gonna happen. I suspect that the guy that's in Witness Protection, his cover is going to be blown, and the drug cartel that he testified against, I think they're going to reappear and he's going to be in trouble. I'm hoping not, because his wife is pregnant. I'm hoping everything will be okay there, but we'll see. I think the guy that's actually in jail, I think he's innocent as well and has just got wrapped up in beyond his control. We'll see if my guesses are right or not. Then for my audiobook, I'm continuing in A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. I'm at 72% now. I was able to listen a little bit at work because I was moving files over from 2025 and creating files for 2026. So it was a lot of mundane work. So yeah. I'm really enjoying it as well, and now Allie has made a decision that I am very proud of. But we're gonna see what the consequences are of that decision. Yeah, today is a cold day, another cold day. It is minus 12 out, which is 0 degrees Fahrenheit when I looked. Maybe it's minus 16 out, something. It is cold. and you feel it. And we got more snow overnight. It's actually been pretty clear today, but just blowing, but we got more snow overnight, so I had to shovel to get out. Then this morning, my boss texted me from work. He was already at the building, and he said the parking lot hasn't been plowed yet. Do you know if the exercise class has been canceled? And I said, I have not heard anything yet, but the leader also doesn't have my number. She would be more likely to call him than me. So then a couple minutes later, he texted me to say that she's here now. And I'm like, I guess if she made it there, I guess I better come in. Really didn't want to go in. But she is 89 years old. If she can get out there to lead that class, I guess I can get out there. So I went in. I mean, I got a lot of stuff done that I would not have got done if I'd stayed home. But I would have been much warmer staying home and not having to go outside. Right now I am wearing a turtleneck long sleeve shirt and a turtleneck sweater. And I'm warm inside the house, but I'm still a little chilly. So we'll see. Okay, I am going to fill my coffee thing. So, we talk about our bagged milk. This is what it looks like. Comes in the 3, and then we always put it in a glass container. So that's what Andrew's doing now. When we buy a bag of milk, we get 3 of these sleeves. I guess, I don't know. I think that's what they're called. There's actually like containers designed to put the bags in. You trim off the corner and you can just pour it like that, but you're more likely to spill it. Yeah. That is our lovely bagged milk in Ontario. I am getting ready to sprint, and I'm gonna have Lucy from Lucy Chronicles join me tonight. So I have my Kindle with witness protection on it. I've got an iced coffee I've made ready, and while I'm getting ready just before like sprint time, I am going to work on updating my reading journal because I'm pretty sure I'm a bit behind. Yeah, it's the 13th was the last day I have marked. It's now the 20th. I have read every day. I just haven't marked it. Have I finished a book since then? What was the last book I marked? So the last book was 84 Charing Cross Road. Yes, I have finished a book since then. I finished The Story People. So yeah, I need to update that. So I'm going to work on that. Well, it's another snowy day. It is Thursday, but I'm alone in the office this morning. So I was able to listen to my audiobook while I worked on creating some memory verse posters for the kids. So yeah. So that was my morning. Well, no, I did more than just that. But I listened to A Distant Melody and I finished it. And I just love the ending. Like, so sweet and so, like, thoughtful. And at one point, I'd forgotten that Walter did something. And when it came up, it was like, you did it! The characters that frustrate you. But it all worked out in the end. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing again. Are you as tired of snow as I am? Are you tired of seeing it in the vlogs as I am of living it? Well, it's Thursday evening, and we have decided to go out to a couple stores because we really need to go grocery shopping. And we are going to go tomorrow, but we'd like to hit a couple tonight so that tomorrow we only have to hit one or two and not go all over town because it is supposed to be extremely cold tomorrow. It's cold right now, but it's supposed to be even colder tomorrow. So we're gonna brave the evening and head outside. Okay, it is now 10:30 on the Thursday evening, and I thought I would give you a real update of what I've been doing today. So after work, I came home and I immediately changed my sweater, put on this comfy sweatshirt, which is fleece lined, because the purple sweater I was wearing earlier was really itching me right at the neck, and I find it not comfortable to wear. Like my arms were bugging me. Like I also have long sleeves on underneath, and I think that's why I was finding it really uncomfortable today, but it's also not my favorite. So I immediately changed out of it when I got home. And then I'm thinking, this is nice and warm because it's fleece lined and I have long sleeves on underneath. Maybe I'll wear this to work tomorrow because I've only had it on for a few hours tonight because I'm going to need something warm tomorrow. The thing about being by the front door is you feel the breeze every time the door opens. And it is supposed to be a high of -16, I think it said tomorrow, which is like 0, maybe -1 Fahrenheit or something. I don't know exact conversions, but it's cold. This weekend is supposed to be really cold. And so I put on a nice comfy warm sweater, then made supper. Basically it was just leftovers of the pot roast we had a couple nights ago. So heated those up. Then we decided to brave the weather and go outside. We went to Dollarama and Walmart. I was really hoping to get some nail polish remover at Dollarama because that's where I normally get it, but they didn't have the kind I wanted. So while I was there, I picked up a birthday card, a Valentine's Day card for Andrew while he was off looking down a different aisle. He was picking up a couple things he needed. I ended up getting a binder. I'm trying to think. I'm second guessing myself. I want to do a notebook of the authors I'm looking to read to 0 with all the works so that I can color in what I've read of theirs and see it all in one place. Now, I do have a spreadsheet on my computer for it, and I think this is why I'm kind of like, I don't know, where I have all the author's works, but I kind of want to have publication dates beside it. I don't have that on my spreadsheet. I just have a list of the author and all their books. And so I'm like, I might want to do that. And then I do have it marked by color of what year I read them. So, I mean, I have that information, but I thought it'd be really nice to have like it all in one place in a notebook that I can easily flip through and look at without having to be on my computer. And then I thought, well, maybe instead of writing out, because as I said, I already have a majority of that information typed. So instead of writing it out, maybe I just take my list that's on my computer, add the publication dates to it, then print it off, and I can put it like in a sheet protector so that I can pull it out of the sheet protector to color in when I've read a new book on that list, right? But then I'm like, but then once they release more, then I'd have to handwrite them or redo the sheet and recolor in. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So that's an advantage to having it handwritten in a book to begin with, is if I add any more books, it would just be adding it at the bottom. So I don't know. So I did pick up a binder because I already had page protectors here. So I did pick up a binder that I could put these in, but once I got home, I'm like, I'm not 100% in love with that idea. I'm still kind of liking the notebook idea, but I don't know. So that project is going to be on hold for now. I mean, I hadn't started it really. So I hadn't planned a start date for it really. So yeah. So once we got home, then Andrew went to bed and I read M from M's. What is her channel name? M's Books Are Everywhere? That is right. Oh, I remembered it before I found it. Was doing reading sprints tonight, so I joined in and read. I knew that I did not have much left of Witness Protection by Robert Whitlow. So yes, I broke another one of my rules that I have set for myself. And I normally do not like to finish 2 books on one day because it throws off my reading journal tracker. I just don't like the way it looks. But I just didn't care today. I had an hour left on my Kindle book when I went to bed last night. And then I finished my audiobook at work today. And I was like, I need to be able to read this evening. And I don't want to start another book when I know I only have an hour left. So I finished 2 books today. So as I said earlier, I finished A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. It was a reread for me. But I did not fully remember it. Like, I remember, like, the romance and who gets together and kind of the challenges along the way. But there is a very pivotal moment at the end that happens to one character that I completely, like, blocked out of my mind, I guess. I knew it had happened. I just thought it happened to somebody else, not them. So when I was like, oh, they were the ones. Wow. So that shocked me. So, I mean, that's a whole another kind of point for rereading, is because I don't remember all the details from when I first read it. And I initially read this book in September 2022. So, like 3.5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, so this is definitely staying as a 5-star read. I really, really enjoyed it. I love the way these characters interact and care for each other and slowly realize their actual feelings and then take steps. And the way that family treats one of the members, oh my gosh. Like, I felt so bad for them. But, you know, they come out on top in the end. But there's also a ton of letters exchanged between this book, so it definitely works for Epistolary January. So I'm so excited that I've read this again, and then I'm going to dive into book 2 at some point, because I'll see, like, okay, why did I think it happened to that character and not this character? So we'll see what happens. And then Witness Protection, which I was reading on my Kindle, is coming out beginning of April, I want to say. I should look at my ARC sheet. Yeah, so it's coming out at the beginning of April, and we are following somebody who is in witness protection, gets involved with somebody who is being arrested with possible connection to a drug ring, and they're trying to help that person out because they believe that that person's innocent. But it kind of threatens their witness protection, and they were single when they went into witness protection, and now they're married with a baby on the way. Then we have the lawyer, who is a single mom fighting to kind of restart her life, and she gets mixed into this thing. She becomes the lawyer for the person that was arrested, and kind of danger ensues. And I felt so much for each of the characters. There was one character in particular who was kind of a side character that I thought, ooh, I think they have a second motive. But I wasn't really sure if we could trust them or not. Turned out we could actually trust them. There was another character we couldn't trust, who I was pretty sure we couldn't trust too. But yeah, I was just like, wow. So it took turns. But I was like, what is going to happen to this character? No, that can't happen. Please don't let that happen. And then an action happens to prevent kind of the threat. And I was like, okay, good. Right? Like, but it just kept me reading. Like, I had to know what was going to happen next. And I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to rate it right now. Can I have 2 5-star books on the same day? Like, it is up there. it is a 4.5 or a 5. Then, because we have the Aunt Carly, who is a praying woman and kind of paces the floor during certain situations praying. And she is trying to teach others around her about trusting God and like providing comfort to them. And just the example of Carly, especially with her health issues and the way she presses forward and helps. I just, wow. Kind of in a way, it's similar to this one where Allie is woken up in the middle of the night with the urge to pray. And she finds out later after the fact that there was a reason she was urged to pray at that time. Exact same thing with Carly in this book. Like, it was just, I think I have 2 5 stars on one day. That's amazing. I have pulled out my recipe binder for slow cooker meals. It's nothing really fancy. It's really not fancy. Once I'll show you the flip through. My normal recipe binder is fancier than this one. It's more organized than this one, I should say. So this one is just for freezer meals and the crock pot meals. Then I have another recipe binder, which is like kind of all our recipes. And that one is divided between types of dishes or meals, like breakfast dishes, desserts, right? That kind of stuff. Pasta, pork, Whereas this one is not at all. This one is just, which, not even. So I have this main page where for a while we would do a rotation. And so I had the meal name, and then beside it is like chicken breast, ground beef, ground turkey, chicken thighs, pork loin, like what type of meat, ham, so that we could rotate and weren't having chicken, right? So it was just in a rotation. We would make these, 8, then we'd make these 8, then we'd make these 8, and then we would go back and rotate it. We don't do that anymore. There's actually a few meals on this that we've decided we do not want to make anymore. But I've been doing freezer meals like this for probably 5 years now, maybe 6. So yeah, I really need to update this. I've added some meals to it since. So now, really, it is just very, very random. The ones we have made recently, so most likely the ones we have made since the last time we made freezer meals, they're at the front. So like meatball subs, it's in the freezer right now. We haven't eaten it yet. Sloppy Joes, we just had that a couple nights ago. Well, maybe last week. Pot roast, that's what we had this week. Barbecue chicken sandwiches, that is in the freezer. Cashew chicken, we had it very recently. Chicken and gravy, in the freezer, I think. Okay, so these are kind of the meals we made the last time we made freezer meals. Then it just goes randomly. Like the next ones mean nothing. So basically, like I have lasagna, Italian chicken with spaghetti, chicken teriyaki, chicken noodle soup, barbecue chicken, taco chicken soup, like beef and black bean chili. Actually, I'm going to pull that one out because we talked about it. So they're just randomly put in there. Then when we go to make freezer meals, so we're planning on making freezer meals this weekend. Oh, I didn't tell you what we bought at Walmart. That's funny. But we're planning on making freezer meals this weekend. So we are doing our main grocery shopping tomorrow night, Friday night. That's kind of what we normally do. And so we will go through the binder. I will go through the binder usually and pull out the meals that we're looking at making. I look at the flyers see what meat is on sale and then plan meals around that. Usually So we talked about wanting to make chili because we haven't had it for quite a while. So I will go through the binder, pull out the ones that we're looking at making. We usually do anywhere from 6 to 10 in a session, I would say. It depends. There's certain ones like lasagna, for example, or the hamburger helper. We usually end up making 2, or in sloppy joes is another one. We usually making 2 at once. Like we do both 2 packages when we do one session, just because of the way, you know, the package count, like sausage, because we divide it into 2 meals, like 2 freezer bags. Lasagna noodles, we can divide the box into 2 meals. Cottage cheese divides into 2 bags. So we always make double that recipe into 2 separate freezer meals. So anyways, so I will pull them out, I will stack them, and then I'll go through and make the grocery list based on what I need. Then I leave them out and as we make them. So then that is why I just take the stack that we had out, and then they end up in the front of the binder. And so that's how I always know, like, kind of, okay, what have we made recently or what could still be in the freezer? I mean, I do have the notes on the calendar that we use, right? But yeah, that's basically. So I'm going to sit down and go through and figure out what we want to make for our next set of meals. So while we were at Walmart tonight, we went basically, I need a nail polish remover because I need to do my nails this weekend, and my nail polish remover is pretty much empty almost, not quite, but pretty much will be. So I need a nail polish remover. Then I wanted to pick up some makeup, and it's cheaper at Walmart than at our drugstore. So I went to pick up a few things of makeup. I just got some foundation, some setting powder, and some eyeshadow primer. They did not have the one that I like, but oh well, I have to wait and see where I can find it because I don't know. I thought Walmart sold it, but I like the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I thought Walmart sold it, but there was no display for Milani there at all. But the whole section looked like it'd been redone since I was last there, and I don't go very often, so. And Shoppers Drug Mart doesn't sell it, and I'm like, I don't know where else to go. So I got some e.l.f. stuff. We'll try it, see what happens. Then while we were there, we picked up some chicken breasts because that's always the best price in town for chicken breasts. And we picked up some bread because Andrew likes to buy the Dempster's bread there because it's always the freshest. Just regular sliced bread. So that's what we picked up at Walmart. Not that exciting. So now I know that we have 8 chicken breasts in the fridge. So I will look at making some chicken. And chili is obviously not chicken. It is ground beef or ground something, whatever we decide. But we are planning on going to No Frills tomorrow, and we know that their ground beef is on sale, so that is the plan. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go through and start making a list of what meals we want. Yeah. So that is the plan for the evening. And then, I did. This is going to be a really long clip. Wow. Next book is going to be Between Love's Wall by Carrie Fancett Pagels. And earlier today, when I finished A Distant Melody on Hoopla, I requested this book on Hoopla because I knew it was the only place I could get the audiobook. So now I have this for audio and physically, so I can go back to reading one book. Yay! And this is the only book remaining on my TBR. So I will be starting this tomorrow morning as I get ready for work on audio. Then once I am home from work, I will switch to physically reading for the weekend, probably. We'll see. But yeah, this will be the last official book on my January TBR, but I still plan on reading Wired Love, which is the group read for Epiphany January. And I will have to read that one on my Kindle. So yeah, but I'm excited to start this one, and I will tell you more about it once I've started it. I do know it takes place in Mackinac Island with the hotel Does it say? Yes. Wow, I was wondering, like, am I wrong about this? But no, Mackinac Island and consult for the Grand Hotel's redesign. And it is a dual timeline. So it's part of the Doors to the Past series. But I'm going to go work on some recipes and I will talk to you tomorrow. It is Friday evening now, and I'm going to try to keep this check-in fairly short after yesterday's long ramble. So went to work today. We have a blowing snow advisory and driving to work down the road with one of my worst drives that I've had in quite a while. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be driving in this. I get there, but I'm like, I also don't want to drive back home. I want to hope that the weather gets a little bit nicer for the drive home. So it was kind of a weird day. Then I got home from work. Andrew shoveled the driveway a little bit. Then we went grocery shopping because we desperately needed food in the house. And while we were out, we picked up supper. We had fish and chips for supper. There's a Greek place in town, Greek, that does fish and chips. And on Fridays, it's always a discount. And so we try to take advantage of that on certain Fridays. So we had that. So I didn't do a grocery haul because we had hot food waiting. So we quickly put the food away and Then we've done some laundry and I've been reading. So I started this as my audiobook this morning and then I've read some more. It's Behind Love's Walls by Carrie, Fancett, Pagels. I am on chapter 7, page 66, and it is a dual timeline. We are following Lily in 1895, who is a singer, and her cousin plays the piano for her. And they have just arrived at the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island as kind of the singer for the season. Then we have Willa in the contemporary timeline, which is 2020, July of 2020, and she has worked for HGTV and with hotel redesign, and so she's arrived at the Grand to give them ideas for redesigning the hotel. You can definitely tell it is 2020 because they're talking about putting their face mask on when they go inside a building. I'm like, But even before we got to that part of it, because there was one scene with 2019 with Willa where she met somebody somewhere else, like not set on Mackinac. And so there wasn't talk about COVID at that time because it hadn't even started, right? But even from that scene and going now, I am much more invested and interested in the historical timeline with Lily. And we've seen Lily write in a journal, and I'm pretty sure Willa is going to find that journal. Pretty sure. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but I think that's going to happen. And so we will see. So right now, I'm much more invested in Lily. As I said, I am 6 chapters in. So like I'm starting chapter 7. So I'm 6 chapters read. 3 of them have been Lily and 3 of them have been Willa. And I just prefer Lily so far. So we'll see. So I am going to keep reading. And then basically as we were grocery shopping today, Andrew said, we are staying in all weekend because it is supposed to be extremely cold tomorrow. Then we've got a snowstorm predicted for Sunday, as if we haven't had enough snow this week. It has snowed every single day. And there are why did that sound out of town buses? Why did that sound funny when I said that? Out of town buses, for like school buses, have been canceled for all 5 days this week. Like, yeah, just it's been a rough weather week. And I know there's a winter storm warning and stuff for the States as well. So you guys totally get what's going on. A lot of you are probably experiencing some sort of what we're experiencing. Maybe just in different weather fashions. But yeah, so we'll see. I just know it is cold. And I have a turtleneck on, long sleeves. I have my nice fleece sweater on. Oh, and funny, when my boss came in this morning, he said, "Oh, did you get that sweater from New York?" And I said, "No, I got it from our local mall." And I'm like, "I also have a sweater from Florence that I bought at our local mall." He's like, "Really?" "Really?" Yeah, so at least I'm nice and warm. And then sitting downstairs reading this, I have my blanket that I always have on the couch, and I have our fireplace on because I'm just chilled. But I'm always cold to begin with, so just, yeah, I'm extra cold today. So we'll see. So tomorrow's plan is to do some freezer meals. Then we bought some ribs for supper tomorrow. And we bought some bacon so we can have BLT sandwiches at some point. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Sunday, but at some point. So we're set for food. If we do get storm stayed for a number of days, we are fine. But I expect I will have to leave the house Monday. But we'll see. So really, that is the plan for the weekend. Not a whole lot. We'll see what we get up to. Welcome to Saturday, January the 23rd. No, 24th. 23rd. 24th. What is tomorrow's? Yeah, 24th. And it is Saturday morning. It is 11, just quarter after 11. Andrew is out shoveling the driveway. I've had a very nice, slow morning. Had breakfast in bed. I mean, it was just cereal, but I had breakfast in bed. I watched some YouTube videos. I showered, and I did not feel like blow drying all my hair, so I just pulled it back into a bun. I did blow dry my bangs because I have to straighten them correctly. And I have read a little bit, not a ton of progress in this. I'm on chapter 10. No, chapter 9. I'm halfway through chapter 9. My bookmark is not right because I was listening to my audiobook as I was getting ready this morning. And I am still completely for the historical timeline. I'm really struggling to connect to Willa and follow her story. So we'll see what happens. But I really like Lily in the past timeline. So today's plan is to do some freezer meal prep. Maybe I'll wash my makeup brushes. If I don't do that today, I have to do it tomorrow. And that's really the big plans for today. I should work on some computer stuff. I have a video ready for Monday. I just got to create the thumbnail and get it posted. So I'll probably work on that. And yeah, that's really today's plan right now. Not leaving the house. Here's a peek into the fridge from our grocery shopping yesterday for our meal prepped this afternoon. Freezer is stocked once again. Andrew better get home soon because the ribs are ready for supper. It is now supper time on Saturday, and we got the freezer meals made. We made 11 meals, and Andrew added up our grocery receipts from yesterday, or from Thursday and Friday, basically our grocery haul for this weekend, and we spent $260, made 11 freezer meals. We bought the ribs that we're having for supper tonight. We've got an extra pound of ground beef in the freezer, and we've got bacon sandwiches. So we've got bacon, tomato, lettuce, right? And all the stuff for lunches next week as well. So bacon sandwiches are for tomorrow. I didn't finish that thought. Bacon sandwiches are for tomorrow, and we'll have leftover ribs tomorrow, most likely. And then we've got all our lunches for the week. Like, that was really good price, I think. We got some amazing deals yesterday. Yeah, so now Andrew has gone out to look for some new winter boots because his boots are really starting to fall apart. I'm like looking at his gloves and they're like completely apart. So hopefully he looks for gloves as well. And then he made a comment that the coat he uses for the snowblowing doesn't even zip up anymore. So he just uses the buttons. And I'm like, you need complete new winter gear, buddy. So he has gone out to look for booze. That was his priority. But he better be home soon because supper's going to be ready soon. I just got to whip up the mashed potatoes. Well, it is Sunday afternoon and I just filmed my TBR game and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And that video will be coming this Saturday. I've also washed all my makeup brushes today and I listened to more of Beyond Love's Wall. And I am now at chapter 16, page 132. And we're starting to see a connection between Willa and Lily. But I am still fully invested in Lily from the historical more than Willa from the contemporary. And I do hope to plan on finishing this today. We'll see what happens. I think I can. I mean, I'm on a page 162 and there's only 200 and, well, actually there's more than I thought there was. 250 pages. Exactly. That's funny. And so we'll see. I want to say one thing that's really annoying me is 2020, it's July of 2020, and every time, like, it's mentioned that they went into a building and they put on their face mask. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, you don't have to tell us every time they put on a face mask. I just don't care. We did that enough in real life. I don't need to read about it as well. So yeah, that's kind of, I think that's pulling me out of the 2020. I mean, or just annoying me about the 2020, not pulling me out. It's reminding me of 2020. And I just don't want to experience that. Or read about it, I guess. Yeah, so it's been a pretty good Sunday. Oh, one thing. I was so excited when I woke up this morning. I looked at my weather app on my phone, and it was not in a warning of any sort. Like, it was like amazing. Whereas, like, I know a lot of the States especially, and I know like Toronto has really got bad weather today, but it's like just missed us for once. My phone for the weather app has had a warning every single day this week, so it was so nice to see it not have a warning today. How long will that last? I don't know. It is still snowing out, but it is just a light snow. Andrew has gone out and blew the driveway and stuff. So, I mean, we've still had to deal with snow. Just, it's not bad compared to what it has been. But now I think I'm going to start editing my video that I just filmed. And I also need to work on editing this vlog. I have a lot of it already edited though, but yeah. And then we're going to have supper, which we are having leftover ribs from last night. And then I plan on reading. Krista from Books and Jams is doing sprints tonight, so I am going to read, and that's why I plan to. I expect to finish this book. I never did figure out how many pages I had left. So 250, 162, I have just under 90 pages left. So I think I can do it. And then I got to figure out what my next books will be, because this is the last book on my official TBR. Well, it is much later on a Sunday evening now. It is 11:30 and I have finished this book. I finished it much later than I thought I would. So I just thought I would check in, wrap up the week before I head to bed. So this evening I worked on my Authors to Zero spreadsheet. I've decided that I'm going to just keep it on my computer as a spreadsheet because that's the easiest way to update it and track it, rather than printing it or handwriting it out. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've updated the spreadsheet, added the publication dates, did a color code system for what year I have read the book so I can easily see the books that are not read. And I discovered a couple errors on my Authors to Zero list that I put in my reading journal. Oops. So one, I had a Terry Blackstock book written down that I actually read. It was part of a novella collection I read last year, and I didn't realize it was the same story. So that was nice to get one off there. However, I also discovered that I missed a novella from Becky Wade. So I had to add that on. Thankfully, it was only a novella. Too bad, though, that it's a Christmas set novella, I think. Actually, maybe, yes, Because of You is a Christmas set novella. So, yeah, but whatever. Then I discovered that Darlene L. Turner has another book coming out this year that I did not know about. Think it was August, maybe, or the fall, something, but later in the year anyways. So I fixed my Authors to Zero printable that I had in here because I'd earlier noticed before I filmed the Authors to Zero video that just went up, I'd noticed that I had missed a Liz Johnson book and a Lynette Easton book when I was typing up this list, so I had handwritten them in. So then, because I realized I had messed up on a couple others, I retyped, like corrected my thing. I didn't retype the whole thing up. I corrected it and reprinted it and just pasted it over the one that was here. So now this is the correct list. And I also went through what I need to read on the list and where I can get the books from. Do I own it? Is it available on Kindle Unlimited? Can I get it from the library or via Hoopla or something? Or will I have to try to purchase it? So I have that all in the spreadsheet. So that's another good thing about keeping the spreadsheet. It's much easier to update that way. It just means I need to be on the computer to do it. But that's okay. And then I sat down and read. And as I mentioned, I finished this, and there were two things that really annoyed me throughout this book. One, I'd already mentioned earlier about the COVID mentions with the face mask and the constant repeating about putting their face mask on. And I'm just like, I don't care. We didn't need to be told every time they put on a face mask, personally. The second issue that bothered me is there are so many characters with the same name from 1895 to 2020. So we have a Garrett Christie in the 1895 storyline. Then in the 2020, we have Garrett Christie III. And there are at least 5 characters, at least, that have connections, that have the same name. So it was like, okay, which character is this? Which timeline am I in? Is it the 1895? Or where's the great-great-grandfather, for example, or I'm in the 2020 and this is a much younger version of the person. Like, that was really confusing. Like, I think the family connections could have been added in more than just having the same name to make an obvious connection. That was a little bit annoying. And so I was still fully 1895. Lily was the character in the timeline that I cared about. 2020, I just didn't connect with it the same way. And maybe that's the whole COVID thing. I don't know. I just did not connect with Willa as much as I did with Lily. And so for me, this is going to be a 3-star read because I just wanted to stay with half of the book and not care about the other half. I do like the way that it kind of connected in the end and things were revealed. There was something in the 2020 that was kind of, Willa searching for something, and I had a guess of what the answer would be, and Willa didn't think it would be that, and I was right. So I'm like, yeah. So now that I finished this book, I am going to pick up Wired Love, which is the group read for Epistolary January, but I can only read that on my Kindle. So I've already requested that from Hoopla. So I'm ready to start reading that tomorrow. We have our group discussion on Saturday on Anne's channel, which I'm hoping to participate in. We'll see. But I need to read the book first. And that means I don't have an audiobook to start tomorrow morning. So I'm going to take a look at the Epistolary January printables and see which prompts I can fulfill and try to find an audiobook that will fulfill whatever prompt I'm missing. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do because I know I have not completed them all. I've not read a ton of epistolary books this month. So yeah, we will see. What book will I start? Well, you'll have to stay tuned for next week's video to find out because at this moment in time, I don't know. So overall, this was a really good reading week, a really bad weather week, but a really good reading week. I had 2 5-star books, and I finished another one, which turns out to be a 3-star. But I mean, I finished 3 books this week, so that is pretty good. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have enjoyed and are staying safe during this crazy winter weather. And maybe you're not even experiencing winter weather. I'd love to be where you are. Well, thank you, and have a good day. Bye.